Welcome to How Safe is Your Data. This will be a series where I'll be going through more different apps and seeing how safe your data is on these applications. And I have found about 5 weaknesses so far, but I can't be releasing them all at once because I have to report them and all blah 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 blah. Okay, boring shit. You guys don't give a fuck. So let's get started. Today's app, PurpleLane. What's PurpleLane? It's an app where you basically get a reward program and shit like that. It's basically a loyalty program application. You know what I'm saying? Doesn't matter. All that matters is that there's a little data leak there. Let me explain to you the story of how I found the data leak. I think I was going through more different apps, fucking around and finding out. And PurpleLane happened to be one of the apps that I fucked around and found out. Yeah, they were like in mobile phone, email, date of birth, your name, your username, and your pictures, right? From there, we have some sensitive data, which is tying your email and your phone number, which you don't want a bunch of nerds to have. Let's be real here. So I installed the app, I turned on my little network sniffer. It would show me every single network request that was going through my phone. So yeah, the speed run record for this was 30 minutes, by the way. So I did not find anything. The app was pretty good. I was about to sign off on it, like, okay, Mark, check, this bitch is safe, you know what I'm saying? But then I noticed there was a feature where it was kind of like Snapchat your code. You know how you could share your snap codes? They had a similar system. So I call up one of my other friends and I'm like, yo, bruh, can you sign on to this app? And he's like, fine. So he sends me his code, which I scan and I analyze the network request. And this is the little API call that it made. As you can see, it's pretty safe, nothing too bad here. It's just giving his username as, the API endpoint or whatever, right? Whatever. Then I'm like, what would happen if I put his user ID in there? Like when he shared me his profile, I was still able to see all the data. But what I wanted to know was what would happen if I gave his user ID. And when I gave his user ID, it was also returning me the same data. Now here's the mistake that a lot of apps make that I honestly don't think they should be making these days. They are using fucking incremental IDs for the fucking users. Oh my god, bro. That shit pisses me off so much. Here's the thing. Here's why you don't use incremental IDs, right? So an incremental ID is the first user will be 0, the second user will be 1, and as on and as on. So every user's ID will be an index, +1, +1, +1. That makes it really easy for someone scraping the entire thing to just go in and be like, okay, send a request to find every single one of these IDs. The username system, while it was bad, it wasn't this bad, right? But when it's an incremental ID system, then it just makes it 1,000 times easier to get your entire user base and their data. So I find this bug and I disclosed it to them. And obviously I'm making this video now that they have like patched it. The disclosure process actually went really well. And this is how the disclosure went. I go on MV Devs group and send out my epic calling card, which was who is responsible for this app. And I send my fucking little cat emoji. And yeah. And then I was like, wait a second. I literally have the owner's data because the owner is like number 1 on the little thing or whatever, right? So the owner is 1 in the index. So I look up his phone number and then I realized, oh wait, I can look up people on Telegram using their phone number because Telegram has a deep link system where you can resolve phone numbers. So I did that and I found him. So I hit him up and I'm like, yo, dog, yeah, I got a little data leak going on. And then a while later, and I believe it was the CEO or whatever, the bro hits me up and he's like, yo, what's up? And I'm like, you guys got a data leak, right? And here's my offer. 10k for the bounty and I get to make a video about it. I kept it really professional. It was like, listen dog, we can't afford to pay you. And I looked up the company and honestly, I don't think they can. They look like a startup. They started up very decently. So I was like, okay, you know what, whatever, it's chill. It's no biggie. And the communication even after that went pretty good with the companies. And honestly, I think this is just an honest mistake. I thought about how this bug could have happened. It's probably because of misconfigured DTO. And they probably didn't map the DTO properly. Hence why it was dumping all the data from the database instead of just the data that needs to be dumped. You know what I'm saying? So that was the bug, and the disclosure to it and everything went pretty good. Yes, I think this might be the only one where the disclosing and everything went well. Yes, the other companies I contacted are pretty big companies, and I think their data leak was much worse than this one. But the communication isn't very good. But I'm still gonna hold off making a video on it, hoping that they would patch it. So if they don't patch it in like a month, expect like 5 videos all dropping at once. Sorry about the shit light. My ring light died halfway through into recording. Anyway, so what's the conclusion? What did we learn from this experience? Well, I think I'm gonna trust companies that actually take these bugs a lot more seriously because user data is no joke. and PurpleLane handled it pretty good. They made a little oopsie. I don't think that discredits them as like a company, and I don't think we should be that skeptical about trusting them with their data. I mean, obviously you should be skeptical with every company that you trust your data with, but the way they acted and stuff like that does bring a lot of confidence to me that they're not gonna mishandle your data. You know what I mean? They patched it really fast, by the way, and they kept communication pretty well. Like some of the companies I hit up straight up scenes on my ass, they were not interested in like if learning further about the bug and shit. And I think I'm completely fine giving smaller companies like some leeway and be more understanding when it comes to data leaks and stuff, because mistakes happen and shit like that. If I go to an app and I'm like, yo, there's a leak and shit like that, and if they don't take it seriously, I'm never gonna use the app ever again. And I'm not, some people will be a bit critical because I, like, for the companies I'm demanding a bounty. Here's the thing, right? First of all, I'm not gonna do fucking their job for them for free, okay? Second of all, if their user data is really that important, they would pay up. And if they can't pay up, they should say it like PurpleLane did. But some of these places, they straight up fucking was like, adios, bro. See you later. Done. Like, at the end of the day, your user's data isn't my responsibility. Like, keeping it safe isn't my responsibility. That responsibility falls on you. And taking your bugs seriously also falls on you. So if you're not gonna take it seriously, then there's no reason for me to be like so concerned about your user data. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, I take privacy very seriously, as you know. Look at me, come on. I take this shit seriously, so I'm not gonna be using any apps that does not take user data seriously. Even though there's a leak, as long as they take it seriously, that shows that they care about the data at least, right? So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next episode probably, which would come out in a week, I believe, or a week or two, because some of the videos are actually recorded and done and ready for upload, but others I still have to wait for like trying to get the communication and stuff working out, because I really don't want to piss off big businesses, you know what I mean?